The sun, that big, huge ball in the sky, gives us warmth, life, pretty much everything we have. And it's also a huge pain. So we're talking about today on Everyday KT, number 237, the sun. Why it is trouble. Why are we talking about this first and foremost? Because I just spent the past 3 days getting baked by the sun, doing some work with the scouts outside the whole time. So for those of us wearing a kilt, it's a known fact that we, more often than not, feel that we are somewhat indestructible because the kilt is just that awesome. And it gives you that sense of awesomeness, imbues you with that sense of awesomeness. Problem is, the sun doesn't care. You know, if you've seen that honey badger video, you all know exactly what the honey badger doesn't care. Doesn't give anything. Does not care. So, the sun doesn't care either. It just is, and it will pound you into the ground. So, it became an issue because when I put on the sunscreen, you know, legs and whatnot, right? Sunscreen. Problem is that as you move wearing your kilt, the hem of your kilt at the bottom changes. It's not a constant. So here, you know, look, dark tan, not at all, because this is where my shirt was. Well, the kilt, it changes. Goes from around the knee as you're walking, it moves. And what sucks the most is even after putting on copious amounts of sunscreen, you wind up with a sunburn just above the knee all the way around both legs. Because when you're walking, that area becomes exposed to the sun as the kilt shifts with your movements. So when you're out and about in the sun while kilted, please, if you're going to put on sunscreen, make sure you put on sunscreen well up to where you are damn certain the sun will not shine. And if that means going halfway up your thigh, fine. It's much better than having sunburn right here. Because what happens, okay, so now, this is what happens. You've been out in the day, you've been out sunburnt, right? That one spot where you didn't think was going to get hit by the sun actually was, and it's crispy. Now, that spot also is where the hem lies. So even with the most amazing aloe-based, non-itch, non-irritating sunburn lotion thing, the hem of your kilt is going to rub against where that sunburn is as you move around the next day, 2 days, until the sunburn heals. That is horrifically agonizing. So make sure when you're out and about in the sun, especially considering tomorrow's the eclipse, so there won't be as much of it, but when you're out and about, kilted in the sun, if you choose to use sunscreen, make sure you use it everywhere. So, you know, most people can go up to about here, and it's fine, but they don't realize that, yes, if your kilt drops at the knee, you have to actually go up above that several inches because your kilt moves as you walk. So, with that, very simple, very short, that's today's thing. Brought on by the fact that I'm dealing with this issue right now. So, completely irrelevant and completely a huge pain in my legs. If it was a pain in my ass, then I obviously probably fell asleep somewhere in a place I didn't need to be sleeping, doing I don't know what. Anyway, with that, somebody pick an everyday kiltology, and we'll get that out of the way. Those of you tomorrow going to enjoy the eclipse, do me a favor, don't just stare at it. I've seen countless things about how to make your own little viewer thing out of a box and some tin foil. Go make one of those. We don't need blind people just because they're stupid. Angela, Swings for the Fences, Volume 1. It's on Amazon for those of you who don't know. So, one more thing that will really, really cause agony when you're walking your kilt is if your kilt is wet and the hem around your kilt is wet, which would really suck if you have a sunburn in that area as well, because not only is the hem going to mess with you, the wetness will make it even worse. Kiltology number 26. Sucking on the corners of your kilt does not provide the same nutritional value as your towel. You'll most likely wind up with a hell of a hangover, though. There are a whole host of movie and book references in that quote, in that sentence. I'm not going to tell you what they are. So hopefully you can endeavor to go find them out. Some of them are very funny. Dave, I apologize. Maybe it's sunspots. Maybe it's God only knows. I have no idea. But with that, I'll let you go. Remember, sucking on your kilt is not a nutritional supplement. You may have scotch spilt on that. You may have leftover slobber from the dog. You may have whatever spilled on there from the bar or the mud run that you went on. All bad things to ingest. So don't do it. It's not good for you. And with that, I'll let you go. You guys have a good night. Tomorrow it's the eclipse. It's also Monday, so caffeinate as needed. Do not over caffeinate because that would be horribly bad. And be strong. Put a kilt on.